All right, good morning. Yeah, probably the one thing on the log was the aggravated assault. There was a press release that was sent out about a couple of people that were stabbed. We don't have a whole lot of information at this point, but the call came in last night about 9 o'clock. The first victim was found in a parking lot near 8th and Spring. That was a 39-year-old man, had multiple stab wounds. He was taken to the hospital, went to surgery right away, but they said the injuries were non-life-threatening, but obviously very serious injuries. There was a second man. He was found near 9th Street in Minnesota. He's 27 years old. He had some stab wounds as well. Kind of the same thing. They were serious enough that he needed surgery right away, but they were deemed non-life-threatening. Because both victims were taken to the surgery, officers didn't have a chance to talk to them to find out exactly what happened. So we're still working on that. We believe there was a different call about a possible stabbing or a fight at a home near Brookings Street and Brookings Avenue in North Dakota. Sorry, Brookings Street, North Dakota Avenue. We're still trying to piece things together. There was a few people that had some information, so they shared that. We're still trying to figure out exactly what happened, but hopefully we'll be able to talk to victims in the near future, maybe get some insight from them on what happened. But right at this point, we don't know what led up to the stabbing, who was all involved, or if there was some dispute or what it was over.
So the two stabbings are related?
They are related, yeah. That's I guess we're operating off that assumption that they're related at this point, and until we find differently. But we believe that they may have got a ride from that area where that house or apartment is to where they were found. And then the one guy at 9th in Minnesota, we believe he was dropped off at 8th and Spring or got out of the vehicle and then walked on his own to that other area. So everything seems to be pointing towards that these are linked, and that both of these men are victims and not suspects.
And it's two victims. The press release made it sound like there may have been a third victim who was...
Just two, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't been able to identify anybody else. And I think they had some information where they thought there was somebody else involved, but I don't think everything that I've seen so far reviewing the report says it just have the two victims.
Did they recover the weapon at all?
No weapons been recovered. Anything else on that one?
Are both men from Sioux Falls?
Yeah, both men are from Sioux Falls.
Okay.
The other aggravated assaults, one was a guy that was punched. He refused to cooperate. They did a report just, I guess, in case he changes his mind. The other one, a guy was sleeping under a bridge and woke to somebody hitting him. He thought with a 2x4. He had no idea who the people were. They left, so we don't have a whole lot of details on that. No serious injuries from that. Burglary were houses and a couple of trailers were entered. Counterfeiting was a fake 50 that was found. Disorderlies are basically just reports, nothing big from those. Family disputes, one was a report, the other is a protection order violation. The fraud was another report. Quite a few larcenies. Looks like a lot of these are came trickling in over the weekend. There were a couple of unlocked cars. There were quite a few different cars that had windows broken and items taken from them. Some clothes, chargers, purses, wallets, kind of the normal stuff that we normally see with unlocked cars. But obviously we have criminals that they're not worried about windows. We've kind of talked about this, maybe doing this in stages, right? That if we first get people to lock their cars, we're going to cut down on some crime. In this case, these people all had their cars locked, which is a good thing, but they left valuables inside, and that's where the criminals are taking advantage of that. So the next thing, first thing is lock your cars. The next thing I would encourage people to do is take the valuables with them or don't leave them in the car. That's probably the best thing. If they could put it in the trunk, out of view is okay, but the best thing is to take valuables with them. Seems a few of these were some at different apartment complexes. Obviously, there's a lot of vehicles that are parked there, and there's not always a lot of people that are monitoring that situation, and so it makes it, I guess, an enticing target for criminals to go and either check for unlocked cars or to break car windows and steal from them. No big quantities on the narcotics. The rapes are both reports. The robbery, that was a guy that last night gave a ride to, there was 3 different women that he, I guess, kind of knows. Anyway, at one point he stopped and told them they needed to get out. One of them pulled out pepper spray, sprayed it in his eyes. He got out of the vehicle. Unfortunately, he had the keys in the car, and so they jumped in the driver's seat and took off with his car. So haven't found the car as of yet. No serious injuries to the man. Let's see, the suspicious subject, that was a report created in error, so nothing on that. The vandalisms, a lot of car windows that were broken, some graffiti, some other cars that were damaged, but that's about it. Anything else?
Any
Okay.
updates from the death last week?
With the homicide? Nothing new with the homicide. Okay, thanks.